Good afternoon, everyone. We'll give it another 30 seconds just to allow anybody else to join the call, and then we'll make a start. Perfect. So we'll make a start, everybody, but obviously we will still allow people to join the call as we go through. So if you do have any colleagues that are maybe struggling to join, please do let them know that they are able to join midway through the session. But thank you once again for joining us for our mental health awareness, the benefits of CSSC webinar. My name's Scott Thorne, and today I'm also joined on camera by my colleague Sean Hewitt, and we are absolutely delighted to be your hosts for today's session. Now, this week we come together to shed light on a topic of utmost importance, and that is mental health. Now, in our fast-paced, ever-changing world, the need to prioritise and support mental well-being has never been greater. Today, we embark on a collective journey to raise awareness, break the stigma, and foster an understanding around mental health issues that affect countless individuals worldwide.
Hello, and thank you again to everyone joining today. So in today's webinar, we're going to be talking about Mental Health Awareness Week. We'll also share with you some really great tips on coping with anxiety from the Mental Health Foundation. We'll talk to you about some CSSC benefits and how that they can support your mental health. And then at the end, we'll also provide some links to external organisations that can support you if you're struggling with your mental health. So the theme of this year's Mental Health Awareness Week is anxiety. Now, anxiety is a normal emotion in us all, but sometimes it can get out of control and become a mental health problem. There are lots of things that can lead to feelings of anxiety. So things like exam pressures, relationships, perhaps starting a new job or losing one, any big life events. We can also get anxious when it comes to things to do with money, and perhaps not being able to meet our basic needs like heating our home, buying food, and that's particularly relevant at the moment in the cost of living crisis. So anxiety is one of the most common mental health problems we can face, and there was a recent mental health survey carried out by the Mental Health Foundation around stress and anxiety over personal finances, and a quarter of adults said that they felt so anxious that it stopped them from doing things that they would normally want to do. But on a positive note, anxiety can be made easier to manage. So we'll be sharing with you later some top tips that they've provided on coping with anxiety.
Absolutely, Sean. But what is anxiety? Now, anxiety can affect us physically and mentally. So if you're feeling anxious, you might notice that your heart rate increases, maybe you're getting some headaches, loss of appetite, breathlessness, chest pain. But obviously, if you are experiencing those symptoms, you should see a healthcare professional just to rule out any other physical cause for those symptoms. Now, anxiety might make you feel tense or nervous. Maybe you find it hard to relax, feeling a little bit tearful, maybe have problems sleeping and concentrating. Your friends and family maybe a little bit more irritable than usual, or a little bit more withdrawn. Or perhaps you seem great on the outside, but you're feeling a bit panicky inside. But there is help at hand. There are things that we can all do to protect our mental health and manage our anxieties. What works for everybody will be different from person to person. Things that might be helpful include being active, maybe getting out in nature, practicing breathing techniques, getting support to tackle money worries, or eating well. Talking to a friend or spending time with loved ones is often a good first step.
Perfect, thank you. So now we'll share with you some top tips on coping with anxiety. So the first one, focus on your breathing. So when you're having anxious thoughts, try to focus on your breathing, concentrating on the feeling of your body as you breathe in and out. It can help you control some of the thoughts that you might be having. Some people find relaxation exercises work really well too, or things like mindfulness. And the second is to get moving. Exercise is a really good way of dealing with anxiety. And remember that activity doesn't have to be vigorous. So you can try perhaps some gentle stretches, some yoga or seated exercise, or just a slow walk. Perhaps going for a run, swimming, any fitness classes, they can give you something else to think about. As it takes a lot of concentration, and it will take your mind off perhaps any anxious thoughts that are coming. Any amount of exercise will help, and it does also have a positive impact on getting a good night's sleep as well. So next, keep a diary. Taking the time to keep a record of what's happening in your life and perhaps how it's affecting you, it can really help you understand what's triggering your feelings of anxiety. And knowing this can help you better prepare for and manage situations that might cause anxiety in the future.
So next up, guys, is challenge your thoughts. Now, anxiety can lead us to think about things over and over again in our brain. This is actually called rumination, and it's not helpful at all. When you catch yourself doing this, try to write down that thought and then challenge it. Get support for your money worries. Now, a common cause of anxiety is money, not so much now, obviously, as the cost of living crisis. So it is very much a cause of anxiety across the country. Now, if you're worried about not being able to pay bills, maybe you're struggling to repay a debt, or you aren't sure that you're going to be able to cover your living costs, please do seek help from professionals. Next up is spend time in nature. Now, we know that spending time in nature has a positive impact on our mental health. It can help us feel calmer, less stressed, and it can be something as simple as tending some flowers in a window box or going for a short walk in the woods.
Next up, so connecting with people and talking about how you're feeling. So anxiety can feel very lonely. So spending time with friends or meeting other people for activities like volunteering, sports clubs or social clubs, even support groups. If you're able to talk about how you feel, it can really help reduce your anxiety, and remember that you're not alone. Next, try to get some quality sleep. So resting and having a good night's sleep is hard when your head is full of these anxieties and worries, but there are some things that can help you. So if the thoughts are keeping you awake, write them down in your diary. If sleep is still not coming, then you can get up, perhaps have a drink, walk around, and wait until you're feeling ready and a bit more tired and before going back to bed. There are also lots of good tips for good sleep hygiene, so make sure you look into this as well if you're struggling to get a good night's sleep. Trying to get a healthy diet. So for many of us, feeling anxious might cause us to, head for the snack drawer, junk food or alcohol. But it is really important that we don't turn to those unhealthy foods or drinks as a way to cope. Eating healthy food regularly does help to regulate our blood sugar as well, and it gives us the energy that we need to live well.
Absolutely, Sean. And here at CSSC, everyone, we do have various tools and benefits to support your mental well-being, with many of these tools having a direct link with those 9 top tips. The place we're going to start today is CSSC Life. Now, this is our exclusive well-being platform. CSC Life brings you fitness, nutrition, various different well-being tools, expert advice, programs, and some bespoke resources that are actually tailored to you as an individual. It hosts a Be Calm section. Now, in here, it provides hours and hours of free resources covering a myriad of topics, from sleep aids to reducing stress, through to improving performance and reducing anxiety, obviously the theme for this week. It also hosts a digital gym feature. Now, we did mention in those 9 top tips that getting active is a great way of reducing anxieties. And through CSSC Life, we give you access to live and on-demand fitness classes every single week. Now, these are all led by our qualified fitness instructors. They include classes such as Pilates, yoga, some mindfulness, some lunchtime energizers, some cardio sessions, even family fitness sessions. So if you wanted to get the whole household involved, you're welcome to do that too. It's also got various different fitness courses to follow in your own time and at your own pace, all from the comfort of your own home. The platform also provides some great advice on nutrition. Sean mentioned eating healthily, and trying to do that is going to reduce our anxieties as well. And the app really does let us know why it's so important for us to think about what we're putting into our bodies, what we're eating, how are we getting our energy to do our day-to-day tasks. The platform includes a food diary and a recipe book with over 300 healthy recipe ideas preloaded. CSC Life can be accessed via any web-based platform. So whether you want to load up on your PC or laptop, maybe your tablet, maybe a smart TV in the living room, or even download it to your mobile phone as an app.
Perfect. So next in 10.4. So in 2022, CSSC set up a brand new concept and would like everyone, not just members, to get on board, and that is 10.4. So 10.4 is designed to help you take some time out for yourself. So we're asking everyone to take just 10 minutes 4 times a week to do something different just for you. So in those 10 minutes, you could learn a new skill, learning to cook perhaps new recipes, or start learning a new language, trying new hobbies and skills, just to leave you with like that sense of achievement. The demands of work, and in many cases perhaps the loss of that work-life balance, can really have a negative impact on our mood. So, and there are many practical self-care things that we can do to help. So we've designed 10.4 to be very flexible. So wherever you have that 10 minutes to spare, so maybe your meeting finishes a little bit earlier this afternoon, or you have 10 minutes spare at the end of your workday, it's a really good opportunity to practice that self-care. So to help you with ideas on what to do in those 10 minutes, CSSC have an archive of 10-minute videos to inspire you on our website. They're easy to access and it engages users in a really fun way to spend those 10 minutes as productive as possible to learn either on their own, perhaps with colleagues that they work with, or even at home with your family and friends.
So exercise and staying active are particularly important for a healthy body as well as a healthy mind. Now, here at CSSC, we have many different areas that we can support you on a fitness journey, as well as easing some of those financial pressures that are sometimes associated with fitness. Now, all CSSC members can get discounts at over 3,500 gyms across the country, as well as have access to hundreds of different sporting events each and every year. So whether you are maybe just starting out or a seasoned pro, we will have something there for you. We also have various different financial support opportunities. So if you're looking to take part in any activities and events outside of CSSC, then you'll be able to claim some money back from CSSC to help, as I say, ease those financial pressures. You can also join one of our CSSC community groups. So whether you enjoy walking, running, cycling, maybe you're a keen gardener, or even you enjoy your e-gaming, again, we will have a community there for you to reach out and connect with like-minded people across the country.
Now, our heritage and botanic partners, they are one of our members' most favourite ways to relax and unwind. So Kew Gardens and Wakehurst, English Heritage, Cadw or National Trust for Scotland. The benefits of exploring these really great locations, buildings, gardens with friends and family, they are a really, really great way to put stresses into perspective. CSSC members can access all of these locations for free, along with their family and friends. And we do offer our members discounted tickets as well to some of the UK's most popular attractions. So you can enjoy some really, really great days out with your friends or family at theme parks, zoos, or cinemas.
Now, I'm sure everybody on today's call, watching us live or whether you're watching us back on demand, we're all more than aware of the increased cost of living at the moment. We've mentioned it a few times throughout the webinar this afternoon. Now, financially, this year has hit many households really hard. Energy bills have gone up over 120% and are set to rise even further. Inflation is up, and just increased costs all round have really come together over the past 12 months to create the perfect storm for many of us across the country. Now, the final element of CSSC that we want to tell you about today is CSSC savings. Now, this is one of our key financial wellbeing benefits available for our members, and it is a very simple and easy way to get money back on your everyday shopping and maybe some of the bigger purchases that I think we are all a little bit guilty of making throughout the course of a year. It is available via a web browser and actually downloadable as an app for easy access.
Yeah, so we've partnered with thousands of retailers across the UK. So people like Asda, Tesco's, ASOS, B&Q, IKEA. So whether you're looking to save money on your grocery shopping, perhaps planning some DIY or doing the garden, needing to buy any electronics, or even looking for a weekend away, CSSC can help you save hundreds of pounds a year through our online system. And it's up to you what you do with that cash back. So you can either spend it in shops in store or online, or perhaps save it up for a birthday or Christmas, or transfer it back to your bank account whenever you need it. Lovely, thank you. So if you or someone you know is struggling with anxiety, there are lots of organisations out there that are there to support you. So we've listed a few of these on screen now.
I'll just leave that up for another couple of seconds if anybody wants to make any notes, but we will be forwarding out all of these links after the session today anyway. So thank you all so much for joining us today. Whether you have joined in and watched us live or you're watching us back on demand, we truly hope that you've taken something away from the session and you're able to maybe utilize some of those 9 top tips to cope with anxiety. And myself and Sian have hopefully given you a better understanding of CSSC and how CSSC can support you across a lot of the different aspects of your mental well-being. To find out more, please do head over to our website, cssc.co.uk, and you'll find out lots of information. There's lots of links and lots of ways to learn and find out more about CSSC. But just before we do leave you for today, I do quickly want to tell you about our upcoming volunteer webinar, which will take place at 12:30 on Thursday, the 1st of June, so in a few weeks' time. This will be hosted by mine and Sian's colleagues, Stephen Toms and Chanel Mason, and they'll give you a great insight into volunteering with CSSC, as well as an interview with an existing CSSC volunteer. So that'll certainly be a webinar not to be missed. But thank you once again for joining us today, everybody. We will finish the webinar there and we will be in touch after the session today with any additional links and information that you may require.